What's up everybody, my name is Berty Mandagie. I'm a film photographer based in the Pacific Northwest. Today we're gonna talk about 5 tips on how to shoot film for beginners. Let's go shooting. So tips number 1 is to not be afraid to shoot. Every 35mm film roll, it has 36 exposures. So my goal is to start taking photos, as many as I can. Don't be afraid to make a mistake and to aim for one perfect exposure within that 36. So for tips number 2 is to make sure that you know everything that your camera can do. For instance, you know where the shutter speed is, you know where the aperture is, and you know how to focus with it, because everything is so fast-paced when you're on the street and you don't want to miss a thing when you're just like fiddling with your camera when you're walking around. So get to know your camera and then start taking photos. So for tips number 3 is to try a bunch of different film stocks. What I like to do is try a bunch of different ones and then find the one that I really like and then stick with it for a long period of time and perfecting how I like to shoot it. For instance, I like to shoot this Kodak Portra 400 because if the ISO is 400, you could push it to shoot it at 800 or you could pull it back to shoot it at 200, and it's so flexible that if you make a mistake on it, you can still produce good images. So for tip number 4, I would use a prime lens. Right now I have a 50mm. This makes you move around and compose your images more intentionally, more creatively. So use a prime lens. So for the last and 5th final tip is to write down the settings of your camera and what you've been shooting at. With film, it's really important that you write down your notes because you can't see the settings that you use when you photograph. Unlike digital, you want to write down everything that you use. For instance, this one I use f8 and 250th of a second. That way I can look back to this specific roll and know exactly what the settings I used. That way I can apply it to my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my blog, themandagies.com, for more tips on film photography. See you there.